Hey, New Beginnings, how's it going? This is Pastor Mark coming to you from Schenectady. Hope everything is going okay. I hope that you're having a restful week. I hope that your kids aren't driving you crazy. And I hope that all things considered, things are going about as well as they could go during the quarantine and lockdown and whatnot. So I'm creating these videos not just to kind of ramble on for a few minutes, but hopefully to encourage you, to maybe inspire you, or at the very least remind you that you have a God who loves you and a church that's there for you no matter what. And I think it's important that we're together in one way or another in the coming weeks because, just turning on the news, it can be scary. Other day, I was sitting over there in my living room with my roommate Dylan, and we were watching the news together. And there was some report on about how infectious coronavirus actually is. And he was over there, and he said, "No, Mark, this is crazy. I feel like I'm living in a textbook." And what he meant by that is this: he meant he felt like in 10, 15, 20 years from now, kids are going to be learning about COVID-19 in like their history class. They're going to be learning about what the United States government did and how the people reacted. And as he told me that, I was wondering to myself, I wonder if the church is ever going to be mentioned. I wonder what the church will do. And kind of got me down this little bit of a rabbit trail because I was a history major in college, and I know a few like circumstances where the church has been mentioned in a very positive light, or has been like altogether forgotten. And it's one of those things where, again, I went down this rabbit trail. I was like, okay, so what do we have to do to be remembered? What do we have to do to have the greatest impact on our community, on our state, on our nation? And I think the answer is actually surprisingly simple. And for me, a verse came to mind from the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 2. Now, in that chapter, in that book in general, Paul is speaking to the church in Galatia, which is like this province, this region in modern day Turkey. And he's saying, talking to them, and he says, listen, carry one another's burdens, and in so doing, you will fulfill the law of Christ, which is love. Um, and I think that is like painfully simple. But at the same time, when you apply it to your life, it can have a very profound impact. You're standing back and you're thinking about it, you're looking at it, and you see so many people in our community who are just overwhelmed. Maybe they've been laid off from work because of COVID-19. Maybe they don't have enough in savings. Maybe their 401 tanked. People are going through some pretty hard times right now. And so if we as a church, as a community can come together and not only carry each other's burdens, but help others where we can, when we can, I really feel like one person at a time, we're going to have a serious impact on our country. And it's just one of those things where in time, we will find out, we'll discover how much of an impact we're actually able to have. But until then, all we can do is the best we can. And we do that by seeking out opportunities to connect with each other, loving one another, whether it is in person, maybe dropping off groceries to an elderly neighbor, or if it is, on the other hand, just, I don't know, sending a text message or sending a letter, doing anything just to reach out to someone who might be alone or might be going through a hard time and offering yourself up as a neighbor, as a brother or sister in Christ to that person. Because in one way or another, everyone needs to feel God's love. And you can do that in so many ways, and it's really up to you to discover what's easiest or what's best for you to reach out with. But again, just the fact of acting, carrying each other's burdens, not letting us go through life alone, but being in the community, I think that's going to have the most profound impact. So with that in mind, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys are feeling encouraged. I hope you guys are going into your week with something to hold on to, with some new perspective, and understanding that hey, you're not alone. You have a church who wants to carry the burdens with you. You have a God who loves you, who went to the cross for you. He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And so it doesn't matter what comes on the news. It's not news to God. He knew it was coming, and he prepared you for it. So be encouraged. You're loved, and have a great week.